Peninsula Petroleum, global bunkering with local knowledge.
If you had $1 billion to invest in shipping, what would you do?
Well, I'd have a slight problem with this right now because I do think it's a tricky market, and so the first thing I'd do is put some of that into cash against my sort of always conservative approach that I think you should always try and have some cash beside you. So let's put $300 million into cash, and the rest I'd go looking to put together a small portfolio of ships, maybe 15 ships. Now, my problem there is that I don't think I could get 15 decent ships from the second-hand market very easily. So I'd find myself heading for the shipyards. I'd get a very good broker, and I would go to China. I'd get the best eco ship I could get, and I'd see what was the best price that I could get a yard to give me, and that's the way I do it.
Would it be tankers or bulk carriers or specialised tonnage?
To be quite honest, I don't think it makes a lot of difference. As long as as long as I was confident that I could run them, I think I'd go for the yard. I'd look first at the yard, which yard could deliver me a good ship, because there's very high correlation between all these the performance of all these ship types. What I want is a ship with a good residual value, so that I can turn it over quite easily in a few years' time when times are better. So I'd go smaller rather than bigger, and I think my preference would be, I think maybe an Aframax tanker at the moment, or perhaps some products tankers would be a good deal. But I think I'd be waiting to see what the shipyard would offer me.
What's the biggest insight you have taken from your long and illustrious career as a shipping economist?
Now that's a tough question. I have to say that as an analyst, I do believe that everybody who's involved in making these very difficult decisions about shipping, and they are very difficult decisions, should spend a little time themselves, the decision maker, sitting down and looking at the numbers. And then when they've had a look at the numbers, they decide what the numbers mean, and they completely forget that, and they go and do what their instinct tells them to do, you know?
After all your years focused on the volatility of the shipping business, what's the attraction of rural life and buying a farm?
Well, I bought the farm just after Lehman Brothers, and I thought it was pretty good asset, pretty cheap, with solid value and a good place to put my money. That's it. I like farming as well.